So as we wrap up here, and it's really cool, where do you see Mi Premier Bitcoin and El Salvador? I know it's hard to predict the future, but where do you see it like in the next 2 to 5 years? Where do you see it going?
Wow, yeah. Imagine 5 years can feel like a short time, and it's not. If we think how far we've come in 3 years, 2 years and a half, where are we gonna be? I mean, we're working on it to be, in every department. We have a pilot. This is already public, I believe. So we have the program with the Minister of Education to continue this year. Instead of 150, are going to be 700 teachers from the public school this year, which means that we're going to reach the whole country teaching, like from the diploma or teachers to them. And then let's see Mi Primer Bitcoin developing more programs. So which means that the people that have learned the Bitcoin diploma, the basics, the students that are leaving high school right now are going to be able to learn from the mining curriculum and work, I don't know, who knows, in 3-4 years at Volcano Energy, and then also have another opportunity to travel probably outside, become a Bitcoin developer. So imagine the technological hub that's going to help El Salvador to become, because they know already about Bitcoin. There are these companies coming here. They just need more workers. So we want to create also these educational extra resources for them to learn and to put, and then, to work, maybe creating even more educational organizations.
So basically, just if I understand correctly, one of the goals of Mi Premier Bitcoin is so that when these companies come to El Salvador, there's already a bunch of El Salvadorians that are educated on Bitcoin and technology, so they can just hire more El Salvadorians.
They can hire Salvadorians. Yeah. I mean, when you learn about Bitcoin, you don't have to work in Bitcoin if you don't want to, right? Like, it's going to at least be different, but we are probably going to suffer less from inflation because we're going to save our stretch money. We're going to be in a different place with the Bitcoin price, if we want to see it that way, in 5 years. So all of these students that have learned and have more hope for the future, maybe they decide that I want to take a different career but live somewhere else, they can do it. But most, like you said, a lot of people is coming back to El Salvador, and a lot of expats that are living here now. Nobody really wants to leave El Salvador. So I believe the society is going to become even more, we're happy people, we're kind people, but even more positive, that wants to contribute to something, that wants to build. I think that's what Bitcoin help as well. It changes that incentive of, it's the long-term preference. So of course, if you think in the long term, and us developing all these programs, reaching more communities around the world, creating these tools for them to educate and literally change the world.
Change the world. I love it. I love it. I love that's the goal. The goal is like to change the world. It's not like to buy a fancy car. The goal is to change the world. And that's why I'm so attracted to the Bitcoin space and to El Salvador in general. So tell our audience how people can support Mi Premier Bitcoin, because it's a non-for-profit that accepts donations, right?
Agree. Yes. So we have an active campaign on Geyser, but you can just go, to our Twitter, myfirstbitcoin_, or to our website, myfirstbitcoin.io, miprimerbitcoin.io as well, and check there the links for donation. That no anybody from the team is accepting donations. There is only the official channels. That's, if you want to donate some sats, but also if you want to contribute with your skills. I don't know, you are a video editor, you want to help us to create better social media, you can do that as well. We start, as a volunteers, and then if there is place or role in the organization and you feel that you could be a good fit for the team, also you can ask, for employment. So far, we definitely need just more teachers, but to teach El Salvador, we hire only people from El Salvador. That teachers, locals teach locals here. But if you want to contribute and, help teach in your community, I don't know, in Mexico or Colombia or wherever you're hearing this from, you can also reach out on our Twitter or on Telegram group. And if you see that there is a language or your language that you want to translate, reach out. We have everything on our GitHub. You can just download, the source files in English and start working. Everything that we do, very important part, right, that I forgot, everything that we do is open source. Everything that we do is open source. So we want to open source even these curriculums after. Everything is on our GitHub. Even in the future, we want to see what else we can open source, like our accountings. That's complicated at the beginning, but even how do we do, on conference, how do we do our social media, how does it works to create an organization, everything that can help anybody anywhere in the world to do.
So I just want the audience to just kind of understand what she's saying here. If you're living wherever, and I know we have people watching this from all over the world, and you're like, oh, I want to teach Bitcoin, you can basically go to Meet Premier Bitcoin and open source, download the curriculum basically, and they can translate it, or some of them are already translated in all these different languages. But if the language that you're speaking, who's watching this, has not been translated, that's one thing you could do. That's how you could help contribute to this, is go to Meet Premier Bitcoin and download this curriculum and then translate it in whatever language you're watching in, or you're speaking in and then start teaching people in your country.
Yeah.
That's the goal, I think, is to orange pill the whole planet. Because the more regular working class people that are orange pilled, the more power we all have against the central banks that basically control the world.
Yes. I agree. And you can start doing it. We are a proof of work organization as well, right? You want to become part of the Lightning Network, reach out. There is an automated system already on our website where you can just apply, put your whys, and the team will follow up.